Alright, hello and welcome back to Brigador. Today we're doing our friend's electric. Sounds familiar, but I can't say I know what it is off the top of my head. Contract removal of target structures, opposition light loyalist. Sing. Current projections for Brigador launch rates due to explosive hazard are unacceptable. We arrived from an infield demonstration and retraining. The SNC cannot lose any more contractors to accidental collisions with explosive pipelines. I guess that's an indication of what we'll be doing today here. Everything within the perimeter walls is destructible. These high penetration weapons that hit targets through cover are large area of effect weapons to simply destroy both. Alright. Shoot the fuel pumps. Whatever you say, Chief. I guess so that like the purple triangle is my shot. Can I shoot it through? Like, I know they talk about like cover height, and since we're above it, can we just? Ooh, okay, that's fun. Alright, this depot we can't do anything at, right? It's the wrong type. Alright. See how far I can scout ahead. I wonder if that's going to be a feature in the game. Oh. Okay. There we go. I see a pipeline there. I do want to, it looks like there's some enemies there. I don't know what the deal with that is, but are this? Okay, I guess we'll just shoot things until they explode. Is it, I thought those looked like enemies, but they're not doing anything. Okay, that doesn't seem to be blowing up. I don't know if there's an indicator. Okay, but alright, so I guess it's the thing with the symbols, right? Let's back up. Let's miss. Okay. I think I was supposed to, jeez, alright, you know what? Whatever. Oh, I got a shield in front. Great, of course I have a shield in front. We read about that. I kind of want to shoot these things out first. Yeah. I think I'm wasting my main ammo. But I mean, I guess it wouldn't make sense to like drive into those, right? Also, there's a refuel right there, so yeah, I'm probably supposed to shoot these first. Oh, there's the exit. Okay, hang on. Before we leave, I'm gonna refuel. I think we've taken out all the enemies, so I want to see. It does say 0 out of 4 depots destroyed. What exactly does that entail? That's what that entails. Okay. So you know what? Let's get the extra money. We'll see how it plays out here. I don't know if we took damage from ramming it, so I'm going to shoot it from a distance. And getting used, I've noticed that I'm kind of having trouble getting used to the isometric view. So what is this? They say everything's destructible here. But that doesn't... Is that just, Are these, walls? Are these, like... Is that a weird boundary? I don't know why it would look like that otherwise, but, regardless. I wonder, is there a time boat? Oh, here's the extra depot. Are there time bonuses in this game? I mean, if there are, we're not getting them. So yeah, I guess the thing is, like, here you would want to, the depot you're compatible with, you would want to fill up before you destroy it, obviously. But otherwise, we destroyed, that should be all the depots, right? So we'll see. Okay, it's 250,000, so I guess it'd be better if I destroy them all on my way out. Now, regardless, my hypothesis, are we going to see a new character in the sea route? We sure are. Ripley Snell. It's a name. Well, regardless, that was a good 7 minutes, so let's go back to our intel. Actually, I do want to see... It tells you about the pilots. I would like to know about, the people we've been playing as, right? Okay, yeah. Singh is 10 million, though. And, where's Alto? I saw her before. Yeah, Clotilda Alto is 35 million, so... I guess you're not supposed to know their lore till later, which is... fair enough. Alright, anyways, Corvette Tank Treehouse. Normally, if there is normal for a siege engine made out of old jalopies, you'd expect the cars to be stripped out entirely for something like this. Instead, Corvette engineers kept all the horns and headlines and... They keep all the horns and headlights and link them up to the main cockpit controls. When one of these comes rolling in, blaring and blazing like the angels in Judgment Day, the treehouse goes from silly to terrifying in seconds flat. Fortunately, the thing itself doesn't have that kind of acceleration. Keep your distance and don't let the bastards surprise you. We've got the Dragon. Can you believe what the Corvettes came up with? A tank designed by a child that's never seen a tank or a dragon. How the glass display? Lots of armor and ate up with engine, the Corvette's specialty. The big dead car gun mount is controlled from inside the cabin, I think. Rather than diverting power to increase speed the usual way, the Dragon can boost its already tremendous torque for short periods of time. When the driver downshifts, the Dragon's going to plow through anyone or anything in its path. Like the Killdozer. Wasn't that a real thing? Like one of the guy drove through a city or whatever? Anyways, the NAP had enough successful countermaneuvers against the Corvette uprisings in the early days, but random bombings and infantry ambushes weren't going to cut it anymore. That's when you started to see a lot more of what we now consider a defining characteristic of the Corvette mechanized army, that is, aggressive repurposing. First time I saw a Killdozer in combat, I was blundering up the middle of a crowd in another protest/riot. At first I couldn't tell what it was through the haze of burning tires. It just looked like another ambulatory concrete wall, which wasn't that far from the truth. Just as the Molotov started coming, the rookie Mongoose squad doing crowd control got real excited with the chance to really open up their bone saws on the thing. They didn't get anywhere putting 8mm rounds into the reinforced plow, and by the time they squared off to their tread bike irregulars encircling from behind, it didn't matter. Tearing their manipulators to the crowd, hemming them in couldn't stop the whole squad from getting crushed against the wall by a Killdozer. So far as I know, the Corvettes only have a dozen or most running in the field, but with the help of an expensive slogan or two spray painted on the plow, they always get the job done. Drawing fire away from lighter, faster, deadlier units that loyalists should be paying attention to. Alright, let's go for the heavy tanks here. Broken Heart. The Broken Heart is one of the best tanks Corvids have in the field. Even if it's a truck chassis and treads, it's a sweetheart mech torso bolted on. One of those classic Corvid propositions. Really shouldn't work, but it works well enough that it's one of the Corvid regular units, aren't they all? That you see with some frequency. High profile for a tank, but all the components have been riddled with so many bullets anyway. It's not like a few thousand more are going to stop it. St. Benjamin. St. Benjamin, or Benji, is one of those big slop wagons from the waste outflow watershed that's been power washed and turned to a mobile artillery station. These heaps have no shields to speak of, but they hang far enough back and look so unthreatening they have a shocking lifespan. Benjis proved effective enough that Corvids stopped waiting for them to break down before stealing them, so now there's hardly any left in the watershed, and it shows. Got the Scab. Nickel with a shield generator, that's about it. Poorman's Scarab. Small improvement of the Loyalist Scarab is mounting the defense laser up on the generator. Actually has a fighting chance to protect itself sometimes. If it gets more dedicated escort units, as I've explained to Corvid lieutenants on several occasions, the Corvids would stop losing so many of these in otherwise low-level engagements. We have Boris. This kind of chassis for repurposing is common enough among the NEP, but you rarely see it with Corvids. Their vehicle manufacturing is so broadly distributed that you don't get standardized parts, at least not in the volume to supply more than one design. They must really love the choke though. They're building enough uppers to outpace that stockpile still unscavenged fork legs. As for Boris himself, the base is so broad that it's able to compensate for the height of the gun turret, and without any of the spacer's dark arts either. But because it's not constantly at risk of tipping over like a chook, the drivers are actually far more at risk with open canopy once the shields pop. Everything's a trade-off. We have the Nickel, the classic Corvid unit. Lots of minor variations on this one. The tank treads and a big truck and a gun platform in the bed has Civil War Classic written all over it. Versatile, timeless irritant for the NEP. Honestly, sometimes they can put enough low caliber rounds to the driver and gunner that the Loyalists re-scavenge some of the treads for their tanks, but you didn't hear that from me. And finally for today, we will look at the Stepper. Loyalist treads on a pickup truck cut in half both directions with a big engine attached. Then the hood is built into a turret section for the gunner. You don't want to know where the driver has to sit. Not a very convincing impression of a tank, but it's useful enough for handling the locals. We're like halfway through the Corvids, so we're about halfway through the entire intel section, which is fun. Otherwise, there's a lot of lore to cover, but that's, of course, more expensive, so I'm kind of waiting on that until we can build up a bit of money. At some point, we are going to have to handle the freelance as well, but I want to see how much of the campaign I can get through first, so we will actually call it here for now, and next time, I don't know, more of the same, I guess, so look forward to that. For now, as always, thank you for watching.